Hello today. Welcome to the greatest year in music history, the only podcast about the greatest year in music history. I'm John.
And I'm Jen. And if you're new here, we're currently discussing the second greatest year in music history, which is 1995.
That's right.
Season 1 was the actual number 1 greatest year in music history, which is 1997. Please send all lawsuits to greatestmusicpod@gmail.com.
That's right.
But so yeah, we're still breaking down the greatest albums from 95, one episode at a time. And this one that we're about to do, if you didn't notice from the title, we already did an episode in season 1 about this band. But today we're talking about the Foo Fighters debut self-titled album.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah. So where did you hear this one first?
So for me, I think this was my first foray into the Foo.
Okay.
Because I distinctly remember the Big Me video, of course, but I feel like I even remember I'll Stick Around.
Okay.
As well. I'm not that they weren't. I'm sure they were getting played both at the same time eventually. Yeah. But I remember that and being really intrigued. I definitely had the CD back in 95. And I don't think I had put it together that it was the Nirvana's drummer post Nirvana. And it was a way to escape grief.
Oh, yeah.
You know, of Kurt's death, and you know, we were 10, so
yeah,
didn't really know, but but yeah, I mean, I was an instant fan from the jump. What about you?
Yeah, a little bit similar. I think I probably saw the Big Me video, but honestly, this album, I really didn't get into it until after I had already gotten into The Color and the Shape,
right?
Because of Monkey Wrench.
Sure.
Yeah. So even though this was their first album, I didn't listen to it until a few years later. But it's so good. I love it just as much as I love any of their other albums.
Yeah, I mean, this one definitely fits in the still rules category.
Yeah. I'm a little bit sad that I wasn't older or didn't know about it when it actually came out, but it's fine. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. I'll get over it. But, so still rules. Check.
Yes.
Well, is it a no skip album for you?
For me, it is. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's some nostalgia kicking in from loving it, you know, for almost 30 years. And yeah, I don't think there's a bad song on here. Yeah. I'll stick around for one, and I'll still like, I mean, hearing the last song, I'm like, let's run it back. I'll play the whole thing again, right? Even still to this day. Yeah.
I'd have to agree.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the track list again. I love them all. I wouldn't skip any of them. So, wow.
I know.
That's pretty cool.
I know. Well, and especially, I mean, you know, a lot of these I read online that Dave had early demos just kind of for his own whatever.
Yeah.
Like while he was still in Nirvana.
Okay.
Pre Kurt's death.
Okay.
I think it said like 8 or 9 of the songs he'd already kind of had loosely worked out, you know?
Yeah.
And then of course the first 2 albums, famously, Dave's played almost everything.
Every instrument.
Yeah. I think I read online there's like an extra little guitar part. They had like a guest come in.
Oh, okay.
To do on the song Ecstatic.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, just like Color and the Shape, it's all him. Every instrument, every vocal.
Yeah.
All him, all bangers. It's pretty intense.
Wow.
You know.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah, he can do everything.
Yeah. What's funny too is I was reading that it got nominated for a Grammy, and it lost to a little band called Nirvana. So
What?
he lost to himself. Nirvana won for their Unplugged album.
Oh, okay.
And it was obviously, 95 was such a big deal because this is after the year after Kurt died.
Yeah.
So everyone was, plus, I mean, the Nirvana's Unplugged is
Yeah, you can't touch it, even if you're in the same band.
Yeah. So I'm sure he's like, oh, I lost. Well, I still want, do I go up like to the other?
Dang.
Well, there were no other guys. I don't know. How does that work?
Wow.
At least he got up there on the stage, right? I don't know.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I did read that. So because he had 8 or 9 songs in the pocket, I read that it took 6 days to record it.
Oh yeah.
It was like, boom, done.
Yeah. I mean, he was a machine.
And what was his band before Nirvana? Scream?
Yeah, he was in a band called Scream.
Were they just pure punk?
I think so.
It wasn't like Foo.
No.
Okay.
No, Foo's definitely... It's cool because it is different than Nirvana.
Right.
It's grungy, it's grunge-esque, whatever, but...
Ish.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's its own thing. Dave's got his own...
I know.
Styles, arrangements, and everything.
I was going to say, there's songs on this album that I'm like, you can tell he's just playing to see with what sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Other than I'll Stick Around.
Well,
but, yeah.
Around, yes.
But you can see that he's like, okay, I'm going to go this way, and now I'm going to go that way, and now I'm going to go, and,
Yeah, you can tell that it's early in my opinion. I think you can kind of tell it's early in the songwriting of it all, because when I was thinking about my favorite songs on this record, but especially thinking about my favorite like guitar riffs, especially that I loved playing as a kid, a lot of the songs have a monster riff that comes out of the chorus.
Yep.
That then leads back into the verse. And it was way more like having that knowledge this time around, listening like 2 or 3 times this week. I really started to see the formula.
Yes. We talked about, I brought this up in season 1 for The Color and the Shape.
Yes.
How he is the epitome of rock and roll. Rock and roll.
Right.
Every song has rock and roll.
That's true. You're not wrong.
So, wow. I just remembered that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of that on this one too.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
cool.
the sound is so interesting because there are all of these, it's really fuzzy. It's really, for lack of a better word, grungy, but then there'll be these light little touches like Big Me.
Right.
That's just like this little pop song, that's almost like an exercise. Can I write a jingle? Right. And then taking it to the next level of the video is, of course, a stroke of genius. Now, it wasn't, his idea, it was the director's idea, but regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, too cool. Well, so speaking of, should we get into favorite songs?
Yeah, yeah. What do you got?
So I love Alone and Easy Target, but Good Grief and Floaty.
Yes.
Back to back. It's sort of like a Green Day Brain Stew plus Jaded. How you can't, they're separate songs,
they're inseparable,
but also
yes.
you can't not play the, to me, listen, I can't gush enough. I freaking love Good Grief. I've been wanting to ask you, what is it on Good Grief that makes it so, I don't know, catchy? It feels like his voice with the guitar. There's a minor key in there that just hooks me.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that is it, probably.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. There's a certain alchemy to the fuzzy guitar sound and his lighter singing, but then it comes in, sometimes with the heavier screaming and stuff too, of course. But yeah, there's that certain stars align
sound.
Yeah.
I know.
That he nailed from the jump.
Man.
And every now and then on the later albums, you can kind of still hear it. You know, the new ones are so much different.
Yeah.
It's 30 years later. It's not going to be anywhere near as raw.
Yeah.
Nor aggressive. But every now and then you're like, oh, there's that 90s Dave sweet spot I remember so well.
Yeah. Real quick, did we talk about in season 1 how they got their name? I think we did.
Maybe.
How it was just him, but he was scared to put it out that it was just him playing all the instruments. So he was like, if I call it Fighters, plural, they'll think I have a whole band. Yeah,
because it's like some kind of World War II reference or something.
Yeah.
A Foo Fighter, singular, but yeah.
Right.
And I read too that I think at first was also a little timid of like, oh, what are they going to say? Why is the drummer of Nirvana trying to come out from behind the drum kit?
As a front man.
Sit down, sir.
Wow.
So it was like, I think he had toyed with the idea of, can I release it anonymously?
Right.
Like just have it be, it sounds like it's a full band because it's plural. Mm-hmm. And like no one will know not only that it was him, but also that it was like not all him.
Yeah. Right.
You know, but obviously that didn't work out.
Yeah.
I think it worked out pretty well for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's doing okay.
True. Okay. Sorry. What's your favorite song or guitar riff?
Well, I mean, I feel like you have to talk about This Is a Call and I'll Stick Around. I mean,
it's true.
They're classics. They were singles.
Yep.
This Is a Call is the first song, I think.
Yeah.
And right from the jump, at least in the order, you know, he has again these monster, really cool guitar riff coming out of the chorus, leading to the verse.
Yep.
And there's also this thing I've noticed he does that's really cool in the guitar where he'll double over himself with a different effect.
Okay.
And so towards the end of This Is a Call, he does that monster riff again, and then it gets layered on top of it with a louder, different sound that's still the guitar playing the same riff. It's the same riff.
Okay.
But it just makes it sound more full. And it's so funny because you're like, oh, was that him? Was that tiny little 5 pound, 6 ounce baby Dave Grohl in the studio saying, well, if I put another guitar on it, will it sound like we're this big band?
Right.
When it's just him.
Wow.
So that I love so much. I love Weenie Beanie. Mm-hmm. It's just like a metal song.
Yep.
It's all screaming, it's all chug-a-chug riffs, very kind of thrash inspired, you know, from the 80s. But I think Exhausted might be my low-key favorite song. It's because it's one of those that you could just play on a loop forever. It doesn't really have to end.
Yeah. And
to me, that one is really emblematic of that alchemy of when he sings in a lighter, higher register mixed with super extra fuzz pedal on the distorted guitar. And it's kind of this droning riff that just kind of goes on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
But then again comes out of the chorus and does this monster, insane riff. And it was so much fun to learn how to play it, like, you know, as a kid on my guitar. So I don't know, maybe that's kind of why I've always loved that one. Maybe it kind of edges the other one out for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Awesome. What was I going to ask? We already talked about how we saw them live.
It's true. I mean, we were fortunate enough to see them it was right before COVID. I want to say
I think it was 2018.
2018, 2019.
Yeah.
You know, obviously Taylor was still around.
Yeah.
So I feel truly lucky we got to see them.
Yeah.
Although shout out to Josh, the new drummer.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, Perfect Circle, the Vandals, that guy rules.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not Taylor, no one is, but yeah.
Yeah.
Now, it's what's cool, actually, we mentioned Taylor last week as the touring drummer in all of Alanis's music videos.
Yeah.
He's not in the video in these yet.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And what I had totally forgot was that the drummer Dave got for them for the first initial tours pre-Taylor, it was the drummer from Sunny Day.
And that's where Nate's
from. Yeah.
Sunny Day. Wow, that's right.
Now, of course, he felt slighted that Dave re-recorded behind his back.
Ouch.
All the drum parts for Color in the Shape and quit the band, but that's okay. That's the season 1
Why do you have to bring up old shit, John?
Yeah.
Just kidding. Yeah, well, so want to talk a little bit more about the music videos? Everybody knows Big Me. It feels literally universal because it's also iconic. A commercial.
Yeah, I mean, it's I read that I guess the director had this idea for what if we had like a spoof satire, and I didn't find out who, but I guess they had pitched it to other bands that passed on it.
Oh.
And that Dave liked the idea because he was like, well, the song is like a jingle.
Yeah.
Is like a satire of a bubblegum pop song.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I'm glad that worked out because it's one of the most iconic.
Wow.
It's so funny. And my favorite part is that they're all in like track suits or like windbreaker suits. And at one point they're running down the street and they're playing with a soccer ball and they're just having a good time. I maintain that. So there's a scene in Zoolander where one of the models dies in a freak gasoline fight accident because they go to get gas and one of them spills it on the other. And the guy's like, hey, get that gas out. And then they start like spraying gasoline on each other while drinking orange mochachinos. And then one of them lights up a cigarette and the thing explodes because they're covered in gasoline. Yes. But they're in these like neon outfits and it's like, oh, we're slow-mo, we're having a good time or whatever. And I'm like, is that just the Big Me video? Did Ben Stiller just see the Big Me video and thought that's fun?
Maybe.
Also, one of the models, a very young Alexander Skarsgård.
Wait, in
Zoolander.
Oh, in Zoolander.
Not in Zoolander. Anyway, back to the 90s.
Hold on.
That's a different pod.
I was like, I missed that part. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, everyone else, though, is already there. I mean, Nate's there, Pat's there.
I know. And so for I'll Stick Around, Nate's there, Pat's there, first drummer.
Yeah. William Goldsmith, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. But what is the plot of that video? I couldn't figure it out. So they're fighting a virus?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's COVID?
It's COVID.
If anybody puts it on, there's like a virus cell, like a literal, everybody knows what the COVID little.
And this is like, it's not like it's CG. I mean, they definitely shot something on some kind of green screen.
And then they built a ginormous virus thing that
with
has
these little
spikes.
Tentacles and spikes. And then at one point, Dave is stop motion eating chess pieces.
Yeah.
And then at another point, he's brushing his teeth with like a razor blade.
Oh, yeah.
Which is weird. But so I don't know if this is it's kind of a through line. So in the Big Me video, it's not Mentos, the fresh maker. It's Futos, the fresh fighter.
Yep.
In the I'll Stick Around video, when he's brushing his teeth, the toothpaste is called Foo Bright.
Oh my God, that's right.
So like, that's just so fun.
Yeah.
I love that.
They're going all the way.
Well, and that was a through line of their earlier videos was how hilarious Dave is.
Right. He's just a playful guy. He's
I mean,
just
you
a
see
goofy guy.
Yeah, you see it in videos for The Color and the Shape. You see it for in the Learn to Fly on Nothing Left to Lose. I mean, you see it, throughout.
Yeah.
And it's so cool to see them. Yeah, just again, they're running around with a soccer ball, and he gets obscured by a limousine, and then he's like, I know, pops a mint, walks through the limousine. It's fantastic.
It's too good. Was anything overplayed in your opinion?
No way.
No, me either. I mean, no.
No, I feel like it didn't get such insane radio play that it could be overplayed.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yep. That's what I was going to say. It wasn't everywhere, really.
No.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it was massive, and, like we said, it was Grammy nominated. They had hits. They started playing big festivals from the jump, but it, obviously it wasn't as big as the subsequent albums. Right. So it wasn't like, can't be overplayed if it isn't. Yeah. Like you said, if it isn't everywhere.
Right. Yeah. Well, I know we talked about this for The Color and the Shape, but is this their best album?
No. I mean, the best is still Color and the Shape for me.
Yeah.
Now the question is, where does this rank after that?
Dude, I can't. You can't ask me.
Is it second or third?
Well, so I don't. It might be third behind There's Nothing Left to Lose.
Yeah.
For me.
I know. Yeah, I think I could go either way depending on my mood.
Yeah.
If I'm feeling more grungy that day, I'd put this record as second. If I'm feeling more in that laid back kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And the bigger, more polished sound they had in Nothing Left to Lose, I'd put this at 3.
Okay. Yeah.
But everything is way behind the color and the shape. And then everything ranked 4 and down is way below these, in my opinion.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. And honestly, I love Good Grief and Floaty so much that it might be right after Generator. So I think in season 1, I mentioned that Generator is my favorite song.
What about Aurora?
Well, yeah, I can't do this.
You can't. Well, we're not on video, but you can't. She has her head in her hands now.
This is hard.
Yeah, it's tough.
No, but I was going to say Good Grief is definitely in the top 5 songs of theirs.
Of their songs, yeah.
Man, I love it. I can't believe it. Feels like, I don't know, it feels like it could be on any Foo album.
Yeah, that was another thing I noticed too, of how, and I kind of mentioned this earlier, where like you'll hear more recent stuff and you'll get these little glimmers of, oh, that sounds like 90s Foo Fighters. But I think the opposite is also true. Some of what he was doing from the jump 30 years ago is pretty spot on of great songwriting, how he's doing it
today, or
10 years ago,
recently,
and 20 years ago, and 5 years ago, etc. And I think it's really good to, or another one of the reasons it's so good is that it's so all over the place. Sounds bad, but all over the place. Like it spans. You
get different moods.
Yeah, different genres. Like if you were to play, it's funny because you mentioned Good Grief and Floaty being kind of inseparable as back-to-back songs. Imagine showing someone Weenie Beanie after showing them Big Me, and you say, not only is this the same band, this was on the same album.
Right. Oh yeah. I couldn't comprehend if I had never heard them. Yeah.
And that was, I think just that kind of spectrum, wide spectrum alone is one of the reasons I really loved them as a kid. Because it definitely didn't sound like anything I had heard before.
Yeah.
Age 10.
Yeah.
especially who was into Nirvana.
Right.
You know, that was the gold standard. And then you hear this and you're like, oh, I really like this. But, oh, this song is different. Oh, and this one's really different.
Yeah. For all the cows.
Yeah.
You're like, where am I?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I love it. I mean.
Awesome. Same.
Yeah. We could keep on gushing.
Okay.
Let's see. No, I love it, and it's really good. And no,
me with Jagged Little Pill.
Yeah, but but yeah, I mean, did you have any other like final thoughts, or do you want to just get into ratings?
I don't think so. I mean, other than gushing, This Is a Call is a really good opener.
Yeah.
Can't believe how good it is, honestly. Love Good Grief, Love Flow. Yeah, I don't know. What about you? Any other final?
Yeah, I mean, I think biggest surprise for me this time around, honestly, was I had forgotten that Taylor wasn't in the videos on this record.
Oh, yeah, right. So when they started playing, you were like, what the?
I was like, oh, yeah, I remember. Because then I was starting to recall the videos, you know, and I was like, oh, yeah, now I'm remembering it wasn't him.
He was busy in 95.
He was with Alanis.
He was in other music videos.
Yeah.
That we know and love.
Exactly. Wow. Having fun crazy pie fighting accidents with Alanis. But yeah, so rating, what do you give it? Out of 95. Out of 95, I give it 92. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's up there.
All right.
What about you?
I'm gonna go. It's weird because you don't want to ding it, but you kind of do at the same time. So I'd go like 93 or 94. 95 is like perfect. Right. And this is just underneath that. Yeah. So I'll go 93 just to one up you. How does that sound?
Okay, that sounds fine.
Okay. Because it's a competition.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we're going to compare our scores at the end. And
the same way this is all based on facts.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, yeah.
Well, I think with that, that'll do it for this week. Mm-hmm. Thank you all for listening. Make sure to follow us on social. Search @GreatestMusicPod. All your favorite social platforms. We're going to start posting more. Share with your friends.
Yeah, and tell us your favorite songs from this album, and give us a follow and a rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Pocket Casts.
And stay tuned for next week, where we'll be covering Jewel's album, Pieces of You.
I can't wait.
See you next week.